Yo, check this out. Welcome back to Urban Child Development. You know that show where we come with off the cuff questions on how we raise our kids in the urban environment. These are the Gambinos. Kai got the questions today. Let's go ahead and fire them off.
Okay, so my first question for you guys is, even with the children at their age that you have, okay, how do you as a parent determine their level of maturity? Because lately we've been talking about like
that's a good question.
Kids and gun violence, like, do they deserve a second chance? Are we responsible? But like as parents, how do we determine that our child, that they're mature?
Mar.
Oh, that's a tough question because mine is just 6. But but I think, well, like right now, no, there is no mature level because he's 6. But I think I guess they have to be put in a certain, in situations to know if they can handle that situation. Not like the same thing, but again, like something smaller, like, like I think the older you get, like small things, like are they trustworthy to be left alone in the house? Are they trustworthy to have a phone? Like stuff like those are the small things, right? But I think, like for me, I can't relate because my son is 6 and you're not mature to do nothing. You put your clothes on and take a shower.
Joey?
Kane is highly intelligent. I'm gonna speak highly of my kid. So I see how he acts when I'm around him, when he's around other people, how he teaches other people, like games, for example, like PlayStation, whatever, like small kids and adults. And he's like how I don't know, I guess he well-rounded, respectful and stuff like that. But I know he's gonna do good when he get older. It's about the things I've been seeing. But he's 9 now, but I've seen all this stuff when he was like 2. So a lot of stuff he does not surprise me. Even when I went to his daycare, they was telling me about how certain things he was doing. I just sat at his daycare in Maryland for like 2 or 3, 4 hours, and I seen him compared to all the other kids. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm good for the rest of my life. I'm definitely good for the rest of my life. When they gotta write letters for him to go 2 grades up, I know I'm good.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and speak on mine before I let Afrikaners talk and take over the show. I got 2, and my son, he has ADD, but he is very responsible to be his age. Like, he's helpful. The only problem with him is like judging his responsibility level. I have to understand he's still a kid because he acts so mature. Now my daughter, she has it in her to be mature. Does she display that on a day-to-day basis? No. I trust him with the door code more than I trust my daughter with the door code when she's older. And this is just from, I guess, just from experience and watching my children and knowing your children. I know for a fact if something breaks in my house, 9 times out of 10, my son did it. He bam, he the one that breaks stuff. I know if something missing in my house, 9 times out of 10, my daughter did it. Because she slick with them hands and be trying to take shit that she knows she shouldn't have. So I guess it's just knowing your children, being around your children on a day-to-day basis, being that mother, being that father, and understanding that they are still children, but being able to judge their maturity level based off of your experiences and things that you see on a day-to-day basis. I think that's all we can do. Afrikaners.
Yeah, I like to echo that. Obviously, my kids are grown. However, the maturity level depends on the situation. Like my oldest son is 26. He's mature enough to take care of himself, in certain situations. But at the same time, he still makes 26-year-old decisions that, I'm saying, sometimes you need to learn when to be quiet and when not to be quiet, which, obviously I blame myself for that.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh,
my oldest daughter, so it's weird. Some maturity level is in levels. Like she's mature, but she plays with toys. You know what I mean? She seems very, very immature except when you present with her a problem or something philosophical, daggone, she gives some good advice. So I'm like, okay. Now, my youngest daughter is super mature. She has a very, very high maturity level as far as academics and things like that. But when it comes to social settings, when it comes to reading the room, no, terrible. She can't get along with people. But super intelligent though, just needs to learn when and where to run a mouth.
Okay. So I'm gonna answer the question. So Noah is 12 and everybody knows he's autistic. But even like with somebody of his caliber, his age and condition, he will not do something until I give him permission, you know? And it's not like I'm controlling him or anything. I think he's just the older he gets, he understands that there are things that I like and don't like and what he can and cannot get into. So he'll look at me and wait for me to say yes or okay, you know, and I think that's just a sign of maturity for him, knowing that, okay, let me go ask mom first, you know?
I don't know. I don't know who this is.
Go ahead.
Oh, should I ask my next question?
Yeah, go ahead. I guess
Okay.
we'll figure out who that is.
Okay. Okay, so my next question is if you had a daughter or if you already have daughters, right? Is it important to enforce them to take birth control once they reach that certain age?
Let me go ahead and answer that first. I got a daughter, and she is of age, and soon as she came out her mouth and said that she was thinking about anything sexual, we want to go ahead and got on that shot. When she leaves my house, she can determine whether she wants to have a shot or birth control on her own. But while you living here, I'm not a grandfather. I don't care. It is what it is. When you move out my house, you can get off the pill. You can not take the shot. I don't care. While you're in here, you're gonna take that motherfucker because I'm not a grandfather.
What about you, Joey?
Teen boy all day.
Yeah, I got a boy, so I don't know. If I see them doing certain things, even if they hide them, I'm gonna end up putting them on all one of those 3 or 4 options y'all have for females. It's gonna be quick. But it's kind of hard to speak on that if I ain't got no girls though. But that's the only thing I can say. There's not no facts about it. That's the only thing I can say. So
okay, Mark.
I prayed for moments like this. This is why I didn't want a daughter ever in my life, because I didn't want to deal with this. They're right here, this stuff like this. So if I did have a daughter, I would say yes. But it's crazy because like even me being raised, I never had the birds and the bees talking to my mom. We never talked about these things, nothing like that. It just kind of like you just know. You better not. You know what I'm saying? It was just weird. Like we never talked about it or nothing, but I feel like any type of sexual, any type of thoughts, if you have a daughter, you just need to have that conversation and that needs to be done. Like they need to know from that age. I agree with like Tracy, like that's smart. Like, you know, obviously doing that in your house. And then when you leave the house, it's like, okay, well, the option is yours. You out of this house, you grown. If you're not on it, then you make that decision, like if you're gonna be a parent or not, you know, but yeah, moments like this. Nope, no daughter.
What about you, Africanus?
All right, so yeah, I got 2 daughters. We've definitely had the birds and the bees talk in my house. Neither one of them are on birth control because, you know, I hate to sound like a male chauvinist, but they already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I told them daggone niggas ain't shit, just straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? So don't let some slick mouth talking nigga daggone get up in your face because that's how I got your mom. You know, I mean, let's be 100. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was a teenage parent, so they already know what it is. Hey, these niggas, that's just what they do. So nah, ain't no birth control because I ain't worried about them in them streets because they know better. Look who their daddy is. Nope.
Oh, that's who that is. Hey, Robin, we didn't know who the hell that was down at the bottom because your name came up.
It had to be her because look at that text message.
I got a lot going on right now. But
Okay, I ain't know what the hell going on. All right, what you think?
I'm gonna be biased on this situation. I don't know if I would suggest birth control because I was a virgin until my sophomore year of college. So I've never been on birth control until college. So I was scared to have sex. I didn't know nothing about sex. I thought if you kissed a boy, you got pregnant. So I'm different. I don't know if I would force that on my child because birth control gets you fat. Birth control has all these effects that mess up women's bodies. Yeah. And then I was allergic to latex, so I couldn't even use condoms. I had to use lambskin. So I don't know. I don't know.
Damn.
I don't know.
Damn.
So for me, I would definitely consider it because of how I was. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that my future daughters are going to turn out the way that I did at that age. But
I forgot to your face.
I would impose it. And then if my daughters were like, "No, Ma, I don't want to do it. Just trust me," then I would reconsider.
What Africanus got to say? Look at his face.
His face, bro. Him and then Tracy was right behind it.
I ain't got nothing to say.
Me neither.
Lies. Both of y'all lies.
I was gonna just co-sign with you. I'm allergic to latex too.
Oh Lord Jesus!
Oh my gosh!
Co-sign to that. That's it.
You learned the what?
I'm allergic to latex too.
How many kids you got?
ODB.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, ODB is my hero. That's right.
You gotta know your kids too, and you gotta know how you were. Sometimes your kids end up like you, and you can see yourself in them. And sometimes, they choose a different path. So I don't know. You just never know.
Yeah, mine chose a different path.
I hope if I daughter that, because I'm gonna put the fear of God in her, like my mama had me. So
no, for real.
Or you get pregnant, like. And my mother ain't even really beat me like that. She was good with her words. So I don't really know. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna ask my next question. Okay, so this is kind of a scenario, and I want y'all's opinion. So, is it selfish for I'm gonna say mother, or maybe father, both? Okay, is it selfish for a parent if before they unalive themselves, they unalive their children because the other parent is being abusive to everybody? Is that selfish?
Unalive you, kill them?
Say the question again.
Don't say unalive. Say just kill themselves or say something like
that. Okay, so before a parent commits suicide, they kill their children because the other parent is being abusive to all of them. Is it selfish?
Yes.
Why? I'm asking because this happens, so I'm asking for your opinions.
Because they feel some type of way. They shouldn't have to take somebody else's life for that. If you're going through something that happened between yourself, not your kids, and they still got a future to live.
But I'm saying that other parents abusing the kids too.
That's cool. I care for, I guess I don't care for that. I do care for that, but that has nothing to do with taking a life. Beating somebody and taking somebody's life are two different things. I think that's selfish to me.
I agree. I have to agree because it just happened up here in North Carolina. I feel like as a mother or father, as a parent, that's you being selfish. You're not God. So who are you to take those kids' life? yeah, they're, you guys are all being abused, but they can turn their life around. They can get help. The other parent that lives could go to jail. They put him under the jail, or he or she could die, and you are able to get counseling and treatment and become a better person through your trials. So I don't think I think that's to take the kid's life. Take your own life. Feel like, what have you, but don't take the kid's life. That's selfish.
She don't need it herself. What do you think, Mar?
I think, yeah, selfish and saying, because your role as a parent, your role is to protect your child. And there's so many programs and all these things out here in the world, where even if you want to drop your kids off somewhere and you do what you need to do to yourself, like that's your job, is to protect your children. So if you can get up and leave, what makes you think it's a better situation for you to kill them kids? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. That's my thought on it. Like, there's all these stuff you can do. Like, you as a parent have failed your kid at that point. You're not protecting. So.
Africanus, what do you think?
One, Black folks don't do stuff like that. That's the first part. You know what I mean? That's not even my lexicon. I am pro-life to the 10th power. I don't even believe in abortion. So hell no. I think that's selfish. I think suicide is selfish. I think if you going through something, pick up that phone and call somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not that I would ever daggone disparage mental health, because we all deal with it. But man, sometimes you gotta know when you're going through something, you gotta be man and woman enough to be like, look, hey, I'm going through something. Pick up the phone and call somebody. Everybody got somebody that you can pick up the phone and call. Even if you don't want to hear it, that person might call you 15 times to make sure you're straight. But don't get to the point where you need to kill yourself, because that's bad business. You know what I mean? And from a religious standpoint, nah. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in it whatsoever.
Tracy?
I think it's selfish as well. I'm not saying that nobody has. I think everybody has had that thought in their head at one point in time in their life. Not saying that everybody acted on it or made a plan or done it. But I think it's selfish because the people behind you got to pick up the pieces. Regardless if you take yourself and the child, it's still people behind you that has to pick up the pieces. It's people that care for you that's still here that could have assisted, especially with the child. You know what I mean? Like, it's also measures. You know what I mean? Like, it's too many alternatives to suicide. Suicide, I think, is the selfish way out.
So I agree with everybody is saying. I agree that it's selfish. However, like I've been that person where I understand, and just hoping that if people are experiencing that, they know how to reach out to get help. Okay, so my next question is another scenario, because there's a lot of shit going on in the world. So this husband and wife, they've been raising their 11-year-old child together. Okay, the child is 11, but the man eventually finds out that the child's not biologically his. He ultimately decides to leave his wife and the child. The child ends up becoming depressed. Whose fault is it?
That's the mom's fault, and I'm getting a divorce. I don't care. I'm not doing that.
Mama.
That's all I got.
Mar, what do you think?
Yeah, that's the mom's fault. She knew what she was doing. She opened them legs,
Yeah.
She knew from 11, 12 years ago, she knew what she was doing. Even if you had a little doubt, you knew. And you knew that at some point, you can't take that to your grave. At some point, that was going to come out. And that's her fault. She knew what she was doing. Little slut bucket.
Africanus, what do you think?
Man, I'm like Mario Winans on that one. Like, hey, if you cheating on me, keep it to yourself. You know what I mean? I don't want to know. You know what I'm saying? I'm Gucci. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the mama fault. That's the mama fault for being a hoe. You know what I'm saying? But that's the daddy fault too, because at the end of the day, you don't need biology to be a parent. You know what I'm saying? If you don't take care of that child for 11 years, I get it, leaving the mama, but not taking care of that child, then you a deadbeat. At the end of the day, because you were still in that child life for 11 years, that child is innocent. That child is not the issue of what happened. That mama's to blame. You know what I'm saying? Cut the mama.
Deadbeat.
You call me dead because I'm not
Call
doing
me
it.
deadbeat.
I'm not doing
man,
it.
'cause
I'm
out.
saying, I'm saying cut the mom off, and I ain't saying pay child support, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But still be a positive role model in that child's
Ain't nobody
life.
saying,
Nah.
ain't nobody saying
That's a
that you ain't got to
different
be
type
that.
of
I ain't doing
hurt,
that.
That's
though.
different. That's different. Ain't nobody saying that you got to go to the point where you won't, like the child call you don't speak to the child, you don't get a child words of encouragement, but you not that child biological daddy.
Yeah.
I'm not. Don't call. Hey, prom, I ain't got it.
I have somebody like that,
Yeah.
or the kid was where she told him. I have a friend like that where she told him that was his daughter until the baby was like 5, and then he found out that the baby wasn't his, and it hurt him. He left her. Well, he left her, and then he was on child support too for her. So I think they broke up, came back, and he was still on child support. He got off of child support, and then, but he's like still there for the daughter. Like the daughter can still call. She's older now. She's like 10, I think. She still calls him. He still helps when he can. He does that. You know what I'm saying? But like, to me, I feel like when I asked him how he felt, he was like, he wanted to, but he was like, he couldn't do that in his heart. He couldn't do that, to just not do it, because he's raised her, cut the cord, everything. So I don't know, but that's.
I'm gonna do it. I ain't got no feelings for that. I don't care.
Africans, you crazy as hell. What if the other daddy that didn't know that was a daddy wants to be a fucking daddy?
Let it be a father. I mean, so I'm speaking from a child standpoint, right? Because I had a stepfather for about 3.5 years, right? My mother broke up. He was still coming around. You know what I'm saying? Being that man, being that figure. All of a sudden, he got remarried, and he basically told me to my face I couldn't come around anymore. Well, that shit hurt me to my fullest, right? And you know, that's when I got in them streets, because now I don't give a damn no more. Like, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now I feel betrayed and I feel lied to, even though I knew this man was my real father from day one. You know what I'm saying? I felt abandoned. So I got it. You know what I'm saying? I got it from all standpoints. Now, yes, that other man deserves to know that his child is out there, 100%. But that child's still innocent, and I know how I felt. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to put somebody else through that same thing.
You knew that wasn't your father from the get-go, right?
Yeah. Well, no way. Yeah, I was.
That's different.
I was 9 years old when he came in our life.
But so that's different from finding out
of him.
That's
you know what I mean?
different from finding out later on, though.
Yeah, of course. I'm not saying it was. I'm not saying that he had no responsibility towards me whatsoever. But as a child, I wasn't trying to hear it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You was there. You was my father, and everything's cool. And then you meet another woman. You now I can come around more. As a now grown, I understand it. But at the time, at 13 years old, I didn't understand that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to burn the world down.
Robin, what do you think?
It's not like there's no therapy in the hood. No one's talking to you about it. You just left hurting by yourself. Everybody tell you to shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was told when I tried to talk about it. So then you turn around and you start doing other things you shouldn't be involved in.
Do you tell your therapist about it now?
Yes, I do.
That's good, brother. I appreciate it. Hey, you got to get that type of stuff out. I'm with you. I'm here with you. You know that.
Tracy, I was just about to write that in the message, bro. I really was about to say that. I must be like, somebody get him a therapist right now.
Man, you got to get that type of stuff out, brother. I feel you. Don't get me wrong.
No, that's true.
I had my stuff too, brother. Hey, don't be ashamed. I go to a therapist too.
Shit, I ain't ashamed. I got 2 of them.
Who's next?
Not ashamed. One bit.
You got 2.
Hell yeah. I got an Army one, and I got one I pay for.
Oh, you different.
Who didn't answer the question yet?
Robin.
Robin didn't get his
answer. All right, she's next.
Different.
It's the mom's fault, because we have enough women out here just doing that. They do it all the time and then get mad at the man because he don't want to take care of that child. So it is the mother's fault. As women, we need to be accountable for the mistakes and the trauma that we cause. There's a lot of single parents out here, and a lot of us don't have to be because of the way we carry ourselves. There's a lot of good women out here, but the bad ones are making us good ones look bad. So it's that woman's fault. That's her responsibility to let her child know, as a parent in general, that, hey, this isn't your real father. She's a whole, like, hey, mommy was out there. I was in those streets. But I'm going to find out who your real father is, and to let that man know, because there's a lot of men out here that will take on a child that's not theirs if you tell them. But if you sit here and hide you know, and lie about it, and even hide it, but just lie about it, then that's your fault that the child became depressed because you as a mother didn't do your due diligence and tell the truth.
Okay, so my next question, right? So all of us have either been in the military or still are in. Your child wants to join the military. Do you tell them the truth, or do you just hope that they do the right thing and don't tell them all the negative things to scare them, you know?
I'll let I'll let them have their own path, because that's how we as parents. Some of our parents did not even join the military. My parent did, obviously, but you got a lot of parents who ain't joined the military, and they can't tell them about certain things unless they go by the hearsay, she say type stuff. But I would let them take their own path and find out that way, because you keep telling people, gossiping about things, especially with your own kid, they won't have no mind of their own when they get older. And then sometimes in life, you as a parent ain't gonna be there, and they got to go on by themselves. But at least while you're living with them, you can guide them. But I would let them take their own path, because you can't be influenced. You can influence them for certain things like finance or whatever, but more, that's any job. You go gossiping with that. Just let them take their own path. But when it comes to finance, get them on finance. But when it comes to anything else, he says, she says stuff. Don't do that. I wouldn't do that.
I'll go next. Check it. Boom. I'm going through this situation right now. My daughter's trying to join the Navy. Did I want her to join the Navy? No, I wanted her to go to Bowie. The Bowie college down the road. And she just didn't do what she was supposed to do this year, in the last 2 years in school, like she was supposed to, so she can be in that position to go there. But she has a plan B. Her plan B is the Navy, and I wish her well. I can't really tell her too much about the Navy because I wasn't in it. I got some homeboys that's in it. I tell her the truth about the military. Do I tell her it was great? No, it's not. But is it better than working at Burger King, McDonald's, becoming a manager? Yes, it's definitely better than that shit. It's more respectable than that. Can I die doing it? Yes, you can. I know plenty of my people that I've rocked with died doing it. But I'd rather for you die doing that than die being on the corner trying to sell somebody some shit that you ain't got no business doing. Mm-hmm. So I ain't saying that it was great, but it was a foundation to get me to move forward. If that's what you need, that's what you need. If it ain't, it ain't.
I'll go. I think being honest enough, just saying the good, the perks, the positive. I mean, I had more pros than cons from my experience, but I would tell him if he wanted to go. I mean, I'd encourage it. And if you want to go, you can go. But again, I would give my opinion. Like, I would rather you go to college and go in as an officer versus go enlisted like I did. That's an option, right? That's a better option. But I mean, I don't mind telling my good and bad experiences, because questions are going to be asked. But I mean, for the most part, I'll be honest. Like, I had a good thing. It helped me out. So, but these are the routes I think you should take. And if that's what he wants, that's what he wants. If he doesn't, then okay. But, but I agree with what Tracy said. Even for a boy, I'd rather you be doing something and die doing something in the military versus being out here in the streets, hanging out with a bunch of boys doing things you shouldn't be, or get locked up or be in prison for the rest of your life. So.
Okay. Africanus, what about you?
So I'm actually in that boat. My son is in the Navy. When he first wanted to join at 18, I said, no, but hell no. You know what I'm saying? I sabotaged it because I knew his maturity level wasn't there. He was not ready to be in, you know what I'm saying? And I want him to go to college. So I made sure that he went to college. You know what I'm saying? I ran up on the recruiter. I told the recruiter, don't call my son. It's going to be an issue. Straight up, because at the end of the day, I knew he wasn't ready, and I know him going at that age, he was going to get chaptered. You know what I'm saying? So he did about 3 years of college, and then he got to the point where he didn't want to go no more. By this time, he's a grown man. You know what I'm saying? I can't stop him. Only thing I could do now was guide it. So, okay. So, when he wasn't joining Navy, I supported him all the way. I kept 100. I told him the truth about everything. I told him about all my struggles, all the things I did. The things I wish I had done better. Many times I got in trouble, I kept it 100 with them about being scared on the corner because everybody think the ability start flying. I told them, hey man, sometimes you got to take it. You got to take the good with the bad. You got to take the good that you get all this free stuff, but you also got to take people yelling at you, talking to you like a dog. You know what I mean? At the same time, I said, don't go in there disillusioned. Don't go in there with a mindset that you fight for the greater good, that America's this. I said, all that's bullshit, straight up and down. If you go in there on some patriotic stuff, you're going to fall apart. It ain't nothing about, it's all about drugs and oil. Who got the biggest guns? That's what about. If you went in with that mindset, get in, get what you're supposed to get an education, use them for what they're going to use you. That's it. I mean, I straight up told them, I said, the Army is like the pimp game. I mean, the military is like the pimp game. Sometimes they the pimp and you the hoe, and sometimes you the pimp and they the hoe. You know what I'm saying? So when it's your time to pimp hard. Pimp that bitch for all it's worth. Because when it's your time to pimp, they're going to pimp the dog shit out you. You know what I'm saying? They're going to pick you like a $2 hoe. So do what you got to do and then get out. Straight up.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Robin, what do you think?
Is my phone on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we can see you.
Oh, okay. I think my bad. Twisting my son's dreads. I agree with everybody. But I would tell my child don't do the Army, do the Air Force. Because they just treat you better. And yeah, I tell them the truth. I'm with Mar. My pros outweigh my cons, so I would definitely say go, school first so you can become an officer because enlisted side sucks. But yeah, I'm with Mar. I'm with everybody else. I would tell her. I would be like, no, I really don't want them to go into the military. But if they do, I mean, it wasn't bad. So hey, that's what it is.
Okay, this is my last question, okay?
All right.
Okay, so the last question is, as a parent, do you always feel responsible for your children's actions?
I'll go first. Man.
Look at Tracy.
No, you shouldn't feel responsible for your kids' actions because once they know right from wrong, what you teach them, they making the decision to do whatever they're making the decision to do. But as a parent, you can't help but at times feel responsible or look back at the things that you did and say, I see where they got that from. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't think, like I said, I don't think you should, but I think sometimes we take it on and we shouldn't.
Yeah.
I agree.
Joey?
I think that's. Oh, go ahead.
I agree with Tracy.
Africana?
Yeah, yes and no, right? So it depends on what it is. Sometimes, like my son would call me and he'd be like, oh, I did this. I cussed this petty officer out, whatever, what have you, right? And I feel responsible for it because I'm like, damn, like, all right, you heard me doing it, so now you're doing the same thing. So I'm trying to teach him, hey, look, man, don't do the things that I did because, one, it was a different time. There wasn't no cameras and none of that. Number two, I also had people looking out for me that, tore up council statements or got me out there trouble. So don't do this because, man, you might not be so blessed. At the same time, I'm also happy for him. I'm happy because he did get a college education. He's married. He's taking care of his kids. Same way he ain't got no kids. I'm sorry.
Whoa, I was about to say, what happened?
He got no kids. My fault. But at the same time, yeah, I feel responsible for my daughters because both my daughters, are in college. You know what I'm saying? One of them graduated high school early. Now she's going to graduate college early. So, I feel like you got to take the good and the bad. You know what I'm saying? Y'all take responsibility for the good things they do as well as the bad things you do because sometimes, my kids will say or do something that I know is wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I look at that and I'm like, man, I know where you got it from. You got it from me. You didn't get it from your mama. You didn't run around calling people bitches, hoes, and sluts. You didn't hear your mama say that. You heard me say it. You know what I'm saying? So I got to take responsibility for the crap that I did. And you know what I'm saying? Tell them, hey, look, man, I was young. I shouldn't have did that. You know what I'm saying? stop, because that's bad business.
Okay.
All right, Mar, what you think?
I think I feel like as an actual active parent, no matter what, you're going to have like a little guilty conscience when your kid does something bad, or because I think I just as a parent, like, and so I just like Africana said, we were quick to be like, oh, my son got this accomplishment, my daughter got this, they graduated, they did this, we're quick to say that, but then a lot of people don't want to say, well, yeah, my son's in jail. Is that actually your fault? Were you there? No. But it makes you feel guilty. Like, what did I do wrong as a parent? What happened? What did I fail in that made them go that route? So I think it's a natural reaction. But I feel like as long as as a parent, you did the best you could, when them kids walk out them doors, they're gonna do what they do. And it just sucks. That's the worst feeling. Because you could be, and there's a lot of kids, even like with my job, there's a lot of kids who come from good families, raised right, and they just chose to do bad things. But I think as a parent, no matter what, you're always gonna, because like even for me, like I watched my grandmother, my uncle was a drug addict, he's an alcoholic, and my grandma blamed herself, and she was the best person in the world. And I'm like, you didn't show him to take the bottle and the needle. That's the route that he took, But as a parent, that ate her up for years, decades, until he passed away. And I think like that's how we are as parents. We just feel it. We hurt when our kids hurt.
Robin?
Where's she doing her?
All right. Stoop?
She took the mic off.
Oh.
What do you think, Robin?
She okay?
My bad. Oh, I'm sorry. I always feel bad. If anything goes wrong with my child or they do something wrong, I feel bad regardless. Because I feel like that's my responsibility. And I should have, been there for them, or even though, but I'm still, hey, I would have did this, or maybe I should. I'm going through the 5 W. But
She must be on mute. Joy?
Stoop?
No, I already said I agree with Tracy.
Oh, okay.
I've been said that.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode of Urban Child Development. Check us out next time.